Have you ever wondered how literal children solve the Rubik's Cube in under 5 seconds where you can't even solve a side? Well, you're in luck, because I've been solving Rubik's Cubes for the last 5 years of my life and I can show you exactly how they do it. And we're gonna start off by showing you how we solve the cube in the first place. In the simplest beginner's method, there are 7 steps. The cube isn't solved one side at a time, rather layer by layer. In the first step, we make the white cross, solve the first layer using this simple algorithm. The second layer, then the yellow cross, basically using a variation of that previous algorithm, and then solving the entire yellow side also using a simple variation of that algorithm. Then we solve the corners and the edges using a couple different algorithms depending on what tutorial you watch. This can help you solve the cube, but isn't gonna make you world class. But these steps are the basis of the next, more advanced method we're gonna look at, called CFOP. CFOP is basically the upgraded version of the beginner's method. While the previous method has 7 steps, CFOP only has 4 steps: cross, F2L, OLL, and PLL. Hence the name CFOP. The first step is the same, solving the cross, but we solve the first 2 layers simultaneously by making corner edge pairs and then inserting them. The third step solves the yellow side in one step using one of the 57 algorithms depending on what position the yellow side is in. This is called OLL, or orientation of the last layer. The same goes for PLL, or permutation of the last layer, which has 22 algorithms and solves the entire cube. This method is used by almost all of the top cubers in the world. While learning CFOP may seem difficult with all of the algorithms, mastering F2L is a challenge in itself, with cubers still inventing new ways to optimize it to this day. Even if you master CFOP, there is still some stuff you need to master if you want to come close to the fastest in the world. There are many things you may need to know according to your solving style, but there are some general things you have to know if you want to solve under 10 seconds. One of the most important things is Lookahead. In Lookahead, you will be solving an F2L pair while looking at other pieces trying to predict the solution to the next case. This predicting first pair, where you predict the cross and the first F2L pair in a section. There's X cross, where you solve cross while simultaneously solving an F2L pair. There are so many things that you can learn, I just can't fit them in this video, but the things I mentioned are essential. Okay, let's say you have mastered CFOP, mastered all of the techniques I mentioned and more. You may be considered a world-class cuber with enough practice, and that is how you become a top cuber. But wait, fast forward. Remember how I said almost all top cubers use the CFOP method? Well, the top 3 cubers right now are using a method so difficult that even attempting to learn the full method was considered ludicrous just a few years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you with 795 algorithms. ZB is CFOP on every steroid in existence. The first 2 steps are the same, but while solving the last pair of pieces in F2L, we perform one of the 300 algorithms of ZBLS, which solves F2L and makes a yellow cross on top. Then we perform ZBLL, which solves the rest of the cube using only one of the 497 algorithms depending on the case. Aside from learning 795 algorithms, it can take years to even effectively apply these algorithms on your solves. There are so many algorithms and so many cases are similar to each other that it can take a long time to even recognize the case. But once you can recognize the cases fast enough, you can get solves like this. This method has given us records that statistically shouldn't even be possible. And the most frightening thing is, these solves are done by literal children. But with all of these groundbreaking feats, people are questioning, are we getting close to the human limit? And well, in my opinion, nah, we're just getting started. Only a few years ago, Simon Klosinski broke the sub-5 barrier by taking the complex idea of pseudo-slotting, practicing it so much that his solves became more efficient than anyone at the time. And as more people participate in the sport, the more we will develop ways to solve this thing. I mainly talked about CFOP in this video, but there are so many methods that have so much potential. We've come a long way since Erno Rubik first invented the cube in 1972, but we are nowhere near the end. So, if you want, you can also pick up a cube, learn to solve it, and become a part of this amazing community of people who dedicate their lives to plastic toys. And that includes me. Haha.